Charlie Chaplin was not only the first and most popular international star of the movies, he made more people laugh and cry than any other performer in the history of the world. As director, writer, and star of his films, he had an incalculable influence on virtually every comedy picture maker who followed. And, as critic David Thompson has said, Charlie Chaplin may be the most famous image of the 20th century. It's difficult to imagine the kind of impact Chaplin had on the world between 1914, when his earliest movie appearances were seen in 1 and 2 reel comedies, and 1923, when he made the first of only 10 features, only 8 of which he starred in, and the last 4 of which were not successful. The great French director Jean Renoir first saw Charlot, as the French affectionately called Charlie, while on leave from World War I, and later wrote that it was Chaplin who first made him a movie fan. To say that I was enthusiastic would be inadequate, he wrote. I was carried away. In the year 1914, for appearing in 35 shorts, half of which he directed, Chaplin's salary was $7,800. In 1915, for writing, directing, and acting in 14 shorts, his salary was $67,000. In 1916-17, he made 12 two-reelers and agreed to another 12 for $1 million. He built his own studio, which he alone used until the 50s, and in 1919 became one of the co-founders of United Artists. Short pictures like A Dog's Life and Shoulder Arms and The Pilgrim reveal the amazing evolution of the tramp character Chaplin created and the satirical attitude he increasingly projected. In his autobiography, Chaplin wrote how the tramp character originated after Max Sennett, his first employer, told him to put on a comedy makeup, anything will do, and picking through wardrobe, Charlie looked for contradictions. Pants baggy, coat tight, hat small, shoes large. And because Sennett had expected an older man, Chaplin added a mustache for age. During the silent era, Chaplin only made 3 features. The first was one he directed and wrote, but only appeared in a cameo. It became the first sophisticated romantic comedy. A Woman of Paris, starring Chaplin's first leading lady in early love, Edna Purviance, and Adolphe Menjou. The film was not a great success, but had a remarkable influence on the master of romantic comedy, Ernst Lubitsch. Chaplin followed this in 1925 with The Gold Rush, the tramp's first feature, an epic, as Chaplin called it, and among his most popular works. 3 years after came The Circus, for which in the very first Oscars in 1928, the Academy gave Chaplin a special award for his, quote, versatility and genius. Chaplin didn't get another Oscar until 44 years later, in 1972, 5 years before his death at age 88, another special award for his entire career. But that was long after many stormy years between Charlie and the U.S. and very few pictures. After The Circus, he'd only played the tramp twice more. Both in essentially silent movies he made during the talking era. In the poignant City Lights from 1931, where Charlie falls in love with a blind girl helps her get her sight. And in the 1936 satire on progress, Modern Times, with Paulette Goddard, his wife then, as the tramp made his final appearance. Chaplin had said of his alter ego, "This fellow is many-sided, a tramp, a gentleman, a poet, a dreamer, a lonely fellow, always hopeful of romance and adventure." My own personal favorite of Chaplin's was the first extended comedy he ever made, a 6-reeler, one that could make a stone laugh and cry. That memorable masterpiece of comedy and pathos called The Kid, co-starring 5-year-old Jackie Coogan. Released in 1920 at the peak of his career, when the entire world was at the feet of Charlie Chaplin, no man before or since more admired or loved.